have great taste, especially with your radio choice. Thank you for spending a little time with Gary and Bristol on Kiss Country 93.7.
Yesterday.
Hello, this is Jen.
Hey, Jen, it's Gary in Bristol from Kiss Country 93.7. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
We're alive and well. We're wishing that we were as cool as you are.
No doubt. You've been moving and shaking, sis.
Yeah, I've been busy.
You have been busy. You know, it's kind of interesting. I found out about you when you opened up your clinic, and I got to tell you, we've been needing that.
Yeah, that's the feeling that we got when we announced that we were opening, and a lot of people were excited about it.
Absolutely. Well, it's good to have somebody who's available 24/7. But the reason why we're calling is we got a letter from someone you know, Shauna Porterfield.
Yes.
She wrote a letter, and we were hoping that you'd have a moment for us to read this to you.
Of course.
She says, I've been Facebook friends with Jennifer for 5 years, but we've never met in person. She's always been there for me during pet emergencies as she works for an emergency clinic. Unfortunately, I got to meet Jennifer in person for the first time, and the emergency was my daughter's dog, Sweet Layla. I messaged Jennifer, and she said, come on, I got you. Upon arrival, she met with me and a team and wheeled my pet away, which I knew was sick but not critical. Within 5 minutes, Dr. Monceau and Jennifer described the severity of our situation to me. They sprung into action so she could be stabilized, and why I went home knowing she'd be ready to pick up in the morning as she was no longer critical. However, things went downhill quickly, and for the best interest of my pup, she needed to be relieved of her pain immediately, as all neurological signs were gone. Jennifer asked me if I wanted to be there, but I could not delay the process and keep her in pain a moment more. So I told Jennifer that my pup's peace was more important. Jennifer replied, okay, I'm going to hold her, hug her, kiss her, and let her know how much you love her, and I will not let her pass alone. The compassion, love, professionalism, and kindness that Jennifer and the staff at Valor 24/7 Animal Hospital showed during such a difficult time will forever be in my heart. Jennifer is the hardest working, most unselfish person I know. The suicide rate in the veterinarian community is unreal, and this is why. It's hard. And that is why you are this week's Kiss Country Caught in the Act Award recipient, Jennifer.
Oh, my goodness. It's so emotional because I don't even know what to say. That's what we do. That's our job. That's just that's what we're here for. And to feel that appreciation means so much.
Well, I'm going to tell you, not only do we appreciate what you're doing and hope to make others aware of what's available there, we also want to give you a $100 gift certificate to go have a great meal at Silver Star.
Awesome. That's so exciting. Thank you guys so much.
Well, thank you for being you, kid.
No doubt. I mean, it's one thing to take care of your family member during, a tough time. It's another to expect them to be there during the most important time.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you guys so much.
So, Jen, was this something that you dreamed of when you were a little kid? I mean, you always wanted to do this, or was this like, well, this MD thing isn't going to work out. Let's try it with pets.
Well, I actually wanted to be a veterinarian, and that didn't work out. But I feel like as a technician, I get a whole lot more hands-on. I've always been a helper, so being able to be a voice for those that can't speak for themselves is just right up my alley.
That's awesome. And I tell you what, the love that we have for our pets is as great as we have for any human.
Oh, sometimes more.
Yeah.
Well, they tend not to let you down as often, right?
That's the truth.
I mean, the worst they're going to do is pee on your floor. Okay, I got that.
That one's an easy fix.
Right.
Do you know someone who makes the world a better place? Someone always willing to lend a helping hand or volunteer when they're needed.
You know, they're just so helpful. Really appreciate all that they do.
We need to know about that person so we can crown them with Kiss Country's Caught in the Act Award.
Just really dependable and like a ray of sunshine when they come in the room.
Gary and Bristol recognize a new person each week and give that person a $100 gift certificate from Silver Star Smokehouse.
How sweet is that?
Take a second to nominate someone special that you know at mykisscountry937.com or in your Kiss Country app.
New from Sam Hunt, it's Outskirts, Kiss Country 93.7. Morning. We are Gary and Bristol. Of course, 7:15, we're going to play ticket trivia. We got the last pair of Hank Williams Jr. tickets in the world to give away, the last free ones.
And I just want to give you a heads up because I know money's tight for a lot of people right now. You don't want to pay a seatbelt ticket on top of that, right? Of course, honestly, the price of not wearing a seatbelt can be a lot higher than a ticket. Let's go ahead and just call that what it is. However, today, the Shreveport Police Department is going to be looking specifically for seatbelt violations. They are having a safety checkpoint from 2 until 8 this afternoon. It will be at an undisclosed location in Southeast Shreveport. And I love how they always add this. Even though it's a seatbelt safety check, you know.
They're still police.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if you've had a couple, guess what? They're going to cite you for that, too.
Yeah, and if they smell something funny.
It is 420 weekend, isn't it? Yeah.
Rest assured, they're going to call Fido over to come take a smell.
Sniff, sniff.
Spending a morning without Gary and Bristol is like having a birthday without cake. Today's not the day for that. Kiss Country 93.7.
That's Morgan Wallen. Think about me. Kiss Country 93.7, Gary and Bristol. And I'm thinking that a lot of these people thought they were like on the Oprah show. You want a boat. You want a boat. You want a boat. You want a boat.
I want to know how this ends up.
You did not win a boat. It's in Canada. Restaurant chain called Tim Hortons. And I'm looking at it online. It looks to me like it's kind of like a crossover between...
It's kind of like
a restaurant, Starbucks kind of a place.
It reminds me, I've eaten at several. It's kind of like IHOP-ish.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Any rate, Darren Stewart Jones gets an email from Tim Hortons saying, hey, you won this $40,000 fishing boat. It was in the grand prize, a contest that they've been running called Roll Up to Win. Well, he's so pumped up, and then his buddy calls him up and says, you know what? I just won a boat from Tim Hortons.
We both won a boat?
Yes!
Oh, my gosh!
Apparently, Tim Hortons told everyone they had won a boat. Thousands and thousands of people. They sent a follow-up email saying, hey, please disregard the boat thing. But now a ton of angry Canadians threatening all of them with a class action lawsuit. Somebody started a Facebook group called the Tim Hortons You Want a Boat group. Last night, when they were checked, there was already over 2,000 people that had joined this group. Anyway, in the fine print of the contest, it says Tim Hortons has the right to cancel, amend, or suspend the contest if there's any sort of error made. So they do have a legal loophole there.
Uh-huh.
But guess what?
That's a CYA loophole.
The reason why they have it, this has happened before.
Where they announce everybody who was entered?
With Tim Hortons.
What?
Tim Hortons just did this same thing last March. Told a bunch of people they had just won $10,000 cash. Each customer ended up getting a $50 gift card for the trouble.
Okay. Can I ask a stupid question?
Whoever's running their online stuff there probably needs to get into weather forecasting. That's all I can say.
Saw the rising sun, coffee in my cup.
They put the good in morning. It's Gary and Bristol on Kiss Country 93.
That's Tyler Hubbard back then, right now. Kiss Country 93.7, Gary and Bristol. And that's kind of like the theme of tomorrow night's concert. It's back then, but right now.
Absolutely.
Hank Jr., Neil McCoy, Brookshire Grocery Arena. Doors open at 6. Show starts at 7. We got the last pair of free tickets on the planet.
All right. If you missed yesterday's ticket trivia question, here it is. One of every 10 couples say that they actually share this personal hygiene product. We wanted to know what that was. And I don't know why. This just skeeves me out, but it was deodorant.
I'm with you.
I do not like it.
All right, today's question. Listen closely, class.
Okay.
Hank Jr. tickets on the line here. Most women say they do this most every night, but over half of men say they never do it before they go to bed. What? Most women say they do this most every night, but over half of the men say they never do it before they go to bed.
Do you do it?
No.
Does your wife?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. What
All
is
right.
it? 725-5477-725 KISS. That's Billy Currington. Don't it. KISS Country 93.7, Gary and Bristol. And tomorrow they're celebrating marijuana. The usage thereof.
I love it.
420.
You're like matter of fact about it. You're like, marijuana.
You know, I grew up in that age. It just never was my thing.
The dazed and confused age.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't knock it.
Getting older, they stay the same age.
I don't knock those who are into that. But, for the longest, it's been illegal. And so for that regard, I would have to say, hey, you're breaking the law.
Right. So it's been basically decriminalized in the Shreveport area. Like if you get pulled over and you've got a small amount on you, they're not going to send you to jail.
What is it, like $100 fine?
Yeah, it's something like ridiculous.
Yeah.
But, here's the thing is, our jails are already full. They're like, no more, no more. And when you can get the one step off of the real thing at pretty much any gas station in town.
Hey, my mother-in-law, who was the most saintly woman I've known besides my grandmother, was prescribed it. The usage
been known
of
to partake.
She did. Her back pain and her feet pain was so bad.
I get it.
In her last few months on Earth that my brother-in-law was the one who actually said, "Mom, you really need to look into this," and did. And she was amazed at what it did for her medically.
Well, I know it's not the same thing as weed. It's an offshoot. But even my horse gets CBD daily.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, my stepmother
Give it to the dogs?
uses the little stuff. She says it's the only thing that will help her sleep at night because she's got that neuropathy from her chemo treatments.
Yeah.
Her feet are just constantly hurting. So I see the medical side of it. What I don't understand is even if the doctors are seeing that there is a positive in that regard, why has the state of Louisiana not yet made the recreational usage of it legal?
Because they haven't figured out how to make enough money off it yet.
I promise you they have.
I mean, but darn well we are money motivated in this state.
Well, of course we are, but I don't know if it just goes against their grain because it's been illegal for so long. It's like, how can we say that's legal? It's a moral issue, I believe. And you know what? Honestly, there's a lot of things that happen in this world that are way worse than marijuana usage that are legal.
Oh, amen. Amen.
And I don't get that.
I mean, as long as you're not out there driving, putting other people at risk.
Yeah.
I'm cool, man. Whatever.
It's not for me, but you know what? If it's for you, I'm okay with that. Again, don't put the rest of us at risk because of that. And the same thing goes for, drinking a beer or, having a martini after work. If you want to do that, that's cool.
Yeah,
but don't put the rest of us in risk because of it. So if the election were tomorrow, it came up again, how would you vote? Would you like to legalize the recreational usage of marijuana? Would you vote yes or no?
I probably would vote yes.
I know I would. And I know that there's people right now that I go to church with that are like, oh my God, I can't believe you'd say that.
You're going to catch an earful Sunday, aren't you?
That's okay. That's okay. I'm prepared to argue that for the simple reason that I don't believe it's that big. Now, do I think that you ought to legalize cocaine or meth or no?
No. Okay, there's a huge difference between cocaine and meth and then something that you can grow in the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there's some cowboy out there roping a calf with it right now. But don't let him throw it in the fire.
You're right.
So what about you? How would you vote on that? Would you vote yes or no to legalize marijuana? If the election was today or tomorrow, 725-5477. Love to hear from you. 725-KISS.
They're like a Band-Aid for all of life's bobos. It's Gary and Bristol only on Kiss Country 93.7.
Sam Hunt, it's House Party, Kiss Country 93.7, Gary and Bristol. And tomorrow, for a lot of people, there will be some house parties.
And they'll never leave the house because they can't get off the couch.
Tomorrow's 420. If you don't know the significance of that, across the country, it is the celebration of the herb,
marijuana. My gosh. So we were talking earlier about the fact, where did 420 come from? No idea. It's just the universal thing for, hey, let's all go smoke a bowl.
Yeah. Well, they say that, it all began in California, and it was, some kids that got together at 4:20 in the afternoon, and I don't think it really matters.
It doesn't.
But tomorrow is the day. So it begs the question, if indeed Louisiana had on the election the question whether or not to legalize marijuana for recreational usage, where would you vote on that one? How would you vote? Mm-hmm. And though neither one of us are users or anything, I think we're both in agreement that, you know what? Of all the deemed evils in the world, this one
Gary,
really...
I have a Grateful Dead tattoo on my ankle. Are you serious? I have smoked dope, okay?
I'm not saying you haven't. I'm just saying that you don't. But if it were legal, would you?
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm not a drinker. I don't like to drink.
Yeah.
And, given my druthers, absolutely.
So what about you? If you were to vote tomorrow on the issue of whether or not to legalize marijuana, how would you vote?
I would vote yes. I have my son who has disabilities on medical marijuana right now, and it has done amazing wonders for him. He's not on the muscle relaxers and painkillers that he was on.
Wow. So you've seen the benefits directly, personally.
Absolutely. I take it too. I've had back surgery, and I'm not supposed to take the ibuprofen, Tylenol, all that mess anymore. And so when I'm in a lot of pain, I will take some, and it's way better.
We used to have a guy that worked here who had a medical card, and he says it's the craziest thing ever. You walk into the dispensary, and there's like a sheriff's deputy sitting in the corner. He's like, you feel really awkward about it.
Yes, there's always somebody there. There's always a sheriff or somebody there that watches over them, and which actually makes me feel better whenever I go in there.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get held up or anything trying to get your marijuana.
Not until you get into the parking lot.
Right?
Oh, my God.
Thank you.
911, what's your emergency?
It's Gary and Bristol. If you're not having fun yet, you might need someone to call 911 for you. Kiss Country 93.7.
Happy Friday. Kiss Country 93.7, Gary and Bristol. Eric Church and Morgan Wallen, Man Made a Bar. Of course, we've got a Kiss Cash Cow Code coming up here in just a few at 8:20. First one of the day could win you up to $30,000.
And seriously, you need to be here for it because Bessie gets a little ornery if she doesn't get milked. And, well, we got to give away this cash.
Okay, tomorrow's the big day. Celebration of marijuana across the country. It's 420. And, it begs the question because I want to say that if you look at the state of Louisiana now as compared to 30 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
The state of Louisiana, though we are still very conservative, we have kind of flopped on the issue about the recreational use of marijuana.
We don't think it's the devil's lettuce anymore.
Well, I think that when all of a sudden doctors are proclaiming the medicinal benefits of marijuana, how would you say, oh, that stuff is terrible? Yeah, my grandmother's using it, but it's terrible.
Oh, bless it.
It took away all her knee pain, but it's from the devil.
And her glaucoma is instantly better. What's going on?
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
She weighs 700 pounds now, but...
You're wrong for that.
Well, you get the munchies regularly.
So we want to know, if it was on the ballot today, how would you vote? Would you legalize it or not?
I just want to say that I agree with you 100%, both of you, wholeheartedly. And I, like yourself, I've never tried marijuana or anything like that. However, it does clog our jails. And people that typically on the law enforcement side, if you see someone and you stop someone that's been smoking weed, they're either going to try to hug you, drive too slow, or eat all your food. But they're not going to hurt anyone.
Ask you if you have any M&Ms.
That's exactly right. So I appreciate y'all talking about tough topics that are sometimes controversial, but you two are very credible, and your statements were spot on, and it's definitely something that moves Caddo Parish and Shreveport, Louisiana to a brighter future and focus on bigger and better things.
Gary Underwood, before he cheats, it's Kiss Country 93.7.
We need more cowbell. It's time for another Kiss Cash Cow Code.
Ooh, I love hearing that cowbell. That means you get a chance to win up to $30,000. Just enter this code into your free Kiss Country app for another entry to win. It's 462. That's 462. Enter that code now, 462, and be listening for the next one coming up just about 9:20.
I'm not sure how I got here.
Thanks for making us part of your morning. Gary and Bristol on Kiss Country 93.7.
Louisiana's Landy Wilson, Wildflowers and Wild Horses, Kiss Country 93.7. It's Gary and Bristol. I'm thinking there was water tower envy.
Oh.
I think that's what happened here.
You think Bossier's was bigger?
They whooped it out.
They surely did.
And you know what? The Bossier City Water Tower was like a national winner.
Yeah, they ranked in the water tank competition.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, Shreveport is now saying, hey, we got 3 water towers we need to do some work on as well.
But they're putting their money where their mouth is. I mean, they want local people to design this, and they're literally giving cash prizes.
They've got a request right now for artists who live in Shreveport or are from Shreveport to design these 3 water towers, the water storage tank, St. Vincent, West Shreveport, and Linwood. Apparently, they got some type of a grant to pay for this. And they say, look, you don't have to paint it. You just got to design it. Now, if you want to submit your idea, you got until April the 30th to do that. But wouldn't that be the coolest thing, knowing that, what you dreamed up in your head was now on the water towers throughout Shreveport?
Absolutely.
I mean, you and I, when we leave here every morning, we don't have anything to look at and go, yeah, we did that. That's why I love mowing my grass. I mow the grass and I go, yeah, I'm the one
See
who made
those
it
lines?
that way. Yeah.
They're straight.
That was me.
Yes.
But these people, for years.
Chest over your lawn mowing.
Well, of course. But these people think they got a water tower that they're going to be able to yell, over. So if you'd like to get in on this, I think you go to the City of Shreveport's website. I believe that's where it is.
Okay.
Or you can go to the SHRAC website, Shreveport Regional Arts
Council.
Yeah. Get that done for April 30th.
Stick around. Just 15 more minutes. You won't believe what these two are going to do next. It's Gary and Bristol on Kiss Country 93.7.